Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about something crucial for everyone developing mobile games: tracking your user funnel. It's one of the most important things you can do to improve your player retention, understand where your users drop off, and ultimately make your game better and more successful. And let me break this down real quick.
User funnel shows how players move through your game from the moment they install it to when they finish the tutorial, complete level 1, reach the shop, and so on.
Without tracking this, you're just guessing where your players lose interest in the game.
But when you track your funnel, you can see exactly where players drop off. Identify bugs or UX problems, improve onboarding, optimize conversion points like ads or IAPs. Let me show you an example from my own game, Endurance. It's a sci-fi pixel art shooter, and I use simple funnel to track key parts of the user journey. And in my game Endurance, I track whether user has passed the ad screen, whether he selected difficulty, if he started already the game, if the tutorial began. After that, I track several points in the tutorial and whether he found the gun, whether he opened the first door, the second door, whether he finished the level 1 and level 2 and so on until basically the end of the game. But the key part is the very beginning, where you can actually track the onboarding and the first part to kind of hook your players. And that gives me clear insights into how far players get and helps me to spot problems quickly. To track all of this, I use GameAnalytics. It's free, super easy to integrate, and works really well with Unity and other engines. You just add their SDK, set up a few events, and boom, you're tracking. Let me show you exactly how I implemented this in Endurance. So let's start first with creating an account on GameAnalytics. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to go to this website, GameAnalytics.com. Then you have to press Get Started. Fill in the form. It's pretty easy, and then once you logged in into your account, you will have an option to create a game, actually to add your game. So for this example, I will use one of my older games, which is called Mars Dunes. So I'll go and press this button. I will select game here, and once I'm here, I will have to fill in this form. So let's start first with an icon. So I have here an icon, so I will just upload this icon here. I'll just call it Mars Game for simplicity. I'll select the platform. This is for Android for now. If you have your games on Android and iOS, you will have to add those separately. For now, we'll just add it to the Android from Google Play. SDK integration, so I'll just use Unity option here and then store Google Play, and then you'll have to enter your bundle IDs and Google Play license key. So for that, you will have to go to your developer dashboard in Google Play, the developer console, and here you just copy and paste this bundle ID. So I'll just do it like so, and then if you don't know where to find Google Play license key, so it's here located in Monetize with Play. And then you go down to this monetization setup. You scroll all the way down. And next to licensing here, you will have this, this long text. Just copy it. Then you go back to the licensing key, you just paste it here, and then done, you just press this button to create the game. It's gonna take some time. Normally, even though it says here it takes around 10 to 30 seconds, it takes up to 5 minutes. The next thing that you will need to do, you will have to install their SDK into your project. So let's go and do that. So I'm on the page where we can download the Unity package, and I will attach it into the description of this video so it's easier to find for you, because for me it was a bit difficult to find where exactly they have their SDK. So let's click on this link. So it will just download the SDK for us. I will cancel it for now because I already have it here. And then let's go to our project. So you'll have to double click on the SDK in order to open it in Unity. And then once it's opened, you can see all of the files that will be added in your project. So just go ahead and click import. And once we imported all of the necessary files, we can go ahead to the Window tab, select Game Analytics, select Settings, and here we can actually put in our credentials to log in into our account. Let's do that. And once we logged in, we can add platform here because we chose Android before, so let's go and add it here as well. So let's press add platform, and here in the organization, select your organization that you've created. Select studio, probably for me it's default Studio 1, and then you have to find your game. It will appear here once it's created on their website in your dashboard. So let's go and select the Endurance. This is Endurance I've created before, so I have it here. Endurance, it's for Android. So basically you have everything set up. And let's go and create Game Analytics Manager to be able to track the events and also to initialize their SDK. So let's go and create an empty object in your scene. For me, it's the main menu scene, but for you, it can be any kind of init scene or start scene, or if you have, if your game starts right away with the level, then you can create a Game Analytics Manager there. So let's create Game Analytics Manager empty game object, and I've already created Game Analytics Manager, so I'll just go through and I will explain you how to do that. I will even paste it down in the description of the video so you can download it for free, so you don't have to do it on your own. So here I have my Game Analytics Manager, and I will just briefly explain you what I do here. So I use singleton in order to keep it through the scenes and also in order to get easier access to it. And in my start function, I just do initialization of it, and these functions are meant to initialize it properly. And then I have two functions. Basically, one is the funnel finished event, the one that I basically use in order to track the events in my game. And I have this private function, which is log mission complete, which I use here in my funnel. So here in the log mission complete, I just have these parameters added so to track the naming and so on, so everything's tracked properly. And in my funnel finished, I use player prefs keys in order to track the events that are happening only once per player. So basically, we don't want to get in the situation where players pass in some trigger and this event triggered multiple times, because as we are tracking funnel, it has to be triggered only once. That's why I'm using player prefs keys in order to do that only once per each step. So for instance, if user started the game, the event has to be sent only once per user, otherwise it will mess up the data. And before we start implementing the funnel events, I will just quickly show you how I have everything set up in my game so you understand the logic. So basically, I place the analytics events almost in every single part of the very first user experience. So for instance, this is the very first screen that user will have when they just open the game for the very first time. And I have the event placed on the closing of the screen, and it doesn't really matter which of these options will be chosen by the user. For instance, if I press I enjoy ads, so there is event triggered behind, and the event is called add screen passed. So after that, I didn't place anything here. Probably I should have done that as well. Then another one is placed on the button continue. So whenever user presses continue button, this event select difficulty is called. And after that, I have another event on the start button. which is basically started game event. Then we have a cutscene here. We're just gonna skip it for now. And here I have another one. I have a tutorial starting here, and I have another event basically saying tutorial begin. So it will be sent here as well. And next we are going to the box. It's another part of the tutorial. So gonna just so we trigger here. We trigger walk to box event and so on. So basically I have, after that I have other pointers in the tutorial pointers in the game, tutorial triggers, and each time they get triggered, I'm sending the event. And it basically helps me to understand whether user churn in the tutorial or later in the game, where I have other events implemented, such as getting the first gun, opening the very first door, opening the second door, completing level 1, and so on. So this is the kind of logic I've implemented. Now we will actually create the scripts. We'll need two scripts in order to track these events. So the first script we are going to create is going to be the one that is actually tracking the events. And remember, this is the very first screen that player sees when they open the game. And I have 3 buttons here. So basically I'm gonna put on each of them the same script. So here I have a button, and here in the bottom I will just add the script that I've already created, funnel event, and what it has. So basically if we go to in and edit it, so we have here the int value, that step number, and string value step name. And what it does, actually, when we call this function track finish level, it calls in the analytics manager, it calls this funnel finished function with these values inside. So basically it's gonna pass the step number and step name here, and it's gonna create debug log for us so we can see that it's actually getting tracked. And it's also gonna send to the GameAnalytics the new progression event, so we'll see it later in the dashboard. As it's written here, let's go in the inspector and let's change it to step 1. And remember how I have it here. This is already, by the way, this is already what I have currently in the game, but as an example, I'll just show you here how it looks like, so you know what's going on. And this is how I called it. So basically, because this one is going to, like for you, this one is going to appear after some time once you start tracking the events. And then I'm just gonna copy these for the rest of the buttons. Paste is new, and the very first button as well. So, and then we need to call those functions. So here in the button we have on click Unity event. So let's just go and drag this here funnel, and let's choose track finish funnel. So this way, whenever user presses this button, this event from this script is getting called, and it's gonna send these parameters to the GameAnalytics. And let's do the same for the rest of the buttons. Okay, and the last one. Okay, funnel event. And if I start the game right now and I press any of these buttons, for instance this one, I see here that the add progression event has been added with the name one add screen passed. And if I continue again, and if I press continue here, you see another event that is getting triggered here. Event 2, selected difficulty. So and so on. So basically this way we can track the events in the UI, and the same way we are going to do another script to trigger the events on level on some triggers in the level. So the second thing that we need to create is basically the trigger that will basically be placed in the level, and where we can add as well some analytic events. So let's go and create empty object, and we're gonna call it funnel trigger, and it's gonna be a game object with box collider 2D box collider 2D. And let's make the size a bit bigger so we know that it's getting tracked properly. So I'm gonna place it here because I have a corridor here and there is no way that player can avoid entering this corridor. So I will just place it somewhere here, and I've already created another script basically which is called funnel trigger as well. And what it does basically, it has the Unity Unity event that is basically called on trigger enter 2D. So once player enters this collider, so this Unity event is getting triggered, and what it will do, so we'll add another one. We will add funnel event, the previous script, and we're gonna paste it here. So we do the same thing that we were doing with the button, and it's gonna just track finish funnel. And because this is the third step in my funnel, so I will call it something like corridor 1 unlocked or something like that. And I can place as many as I want to. For instance, in every single corridor, this will be the fourth one, corridor 2 unlocked, and so on. You can do as many as you want to. I mean, it all depends on the logic you have in the game, because you know your game better. And for me, it's easier because my game is pretty linear, so I know exactly where to place these analytic events to track user journey properly. So I've added multiple events here around the level, and we'll see right now if they are getting tracked properly. So let's start playing the game and let's see how it goes. So as you can see, add progression event, tutorial begin event is getting tracked. Then walk to the box event getting tracked. Let's go to the next one. So then I have event 6.2, and then other event is getting tracked as well. Another one. So basically, as you can see, all of the events are getting tracked. And once data starts flowing, you can log in into your GameAnalytics dashboard, go to the funnel section, and set up a custom funnel using the game you logged. So here in the funnels, you can create a new funnel, and you can press steps. Then here you can select progression funnel, and you can add some steps. You can only add up to 50 steps, and I'll show you how I do that for my game endurance. So for instance, here in the progression 01, I just press 1 on the keyboard and select adds passed, as this was my very first step in the game. And in the second one, I'll select the second one when player selects the difficulty in the game. And here we actually select 3 to where player starts the game. The number 4 is where tutorial begins, and then number 5 where player walks to the box. And then after that, once you created all of the necessary steps for your funnel, you can press process button. And after that, you will see something like that. You will see the whole journey of your users, where they normally churn, when they drop off, and you can analyze that. And if you see things like that, when you have a lot of people churning at some point of the game, because here, for instance, it says that 100% started, they passed the ad screen and then slowly churning on each of the steps of the game, and then there might be some huge churns, something like that, for instance, where I have 56% of the players being here, and on the next step I already have 46, which is like 10% less than before. Then it's something wrong here, and this is where I can see that players couldn't finish the step 18 when they got the first gun in the game. And that means there's something wrong happening between these two. So I guess they cannot finish because it's something difficult or something is not clear for them. So I will have to make some assumptions what could go wrong with that step and how I can improve it. So this is how you normally analyze. You check if there are huge differences between the steps, the previous step and the next step in terms of how many users dropped the game, and then you analyze, you tweak some things, you change some things in your gameplay, and then when you release the next version, you can track whether you have improved something in your game. Again, checking this funnel. If for instance, next time when I release a new version and I see that after this step I have 55 or 54% continuing the game instead of 46 as I have now, then I understand, okay, I've improved the funnel a lot. So yeah, tracking your user funnel is a must. It's not just about data, it's about understanding your players and making your game better step by step. I highly recommend using GameAnalytics. It's fast, free, and it saved me a lot of time.
And if you find this helpful, let me know in the comments if you'd like more content on game analytics and how to track your user funnel and monetization. Thanks for watching and keep making great games.